Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Eliza at Eliza Journals. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you two new pens. One I picked up myself during the pre-order sale, and then one my best friend bought me for my birthday. So the first one I'm going to show you is the TWSBI, which is, it's one of a kind because TWSBI has never come out with onyx trimming, and I absolutely love this pen. So I'm actually going to show you all of the TWSBIs that I own. Hopefully this is in frame, and just to let you see the differences in the colors of them. Like, they're pretty much all the same. Some of them are Eco Tees and then regular Ecos, which Eco Tees have a triangular shape to it, which makes it a little bit more ergonomic, but I really can't tell the difference when I write with them. So then we have the ones with rose gold, and of course I have them organized according to color, which these two need to be swapped according to color. So these are the ones with rose gold, and then these are the ones with the silver trimming. And then I have a TWSBI Classic, which is this one, and this is the one I actually had customized by Kurt Spill from Pen Realm to a needle point because the needle was just entirely too wet for me. And then I have the TWSBI Kai, which is the limited edition TWSBI, which is the only limited edition TWSBI. And I absolutely love this one. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It does have that rose gold trimming as well. And then the nib is also rose gold, just like the rose gold ones. And then the rest of the TWSBIs I have, these are my Diamond 580s, which one is missing. It's actually in my research journal. And then this one is my Diamond 580 ALR in black, which I absolutely love. This one's like a matte black. And then the finials look exactly the same as well. So I'm gonna just sit that there. So pretty much the only ones that look a little different, just trying to give you like a little. So this is a TWSBI Eco T. This is a TWSBI Eco. The only ones that have like the differences in the tops are the rose gold ones. They have like this metallic looking finial. It's not like this one. You can definitely see the differences in the way that it's made at the top. Oh my gosh, I'm not, it may be metal, but I'm not really sure if that's a metal finial. But these are plastic, and then these, the rose gold ones, are looks like metal. So this one is, so this is my new baby. So I absolutely love this one. This one is the TWSBI Eco. This is just a regular Eco, and it is Irish green with onyx. And this is the first of its kind. And I absolutely love it because it has that black trimming. And I love green, and green is my favorite color. So that's why I really love it, because it is green. I've been waiting for them to come out with a green like that Irish sage olive green. And even though I bought this one, which is a TWSBI Eco T, this is the rose gold trimming. Like, I love this one because it's green, and at the time this is also a limited edition, but you can still purchase this. At the time, this one was the only green one close to what I really like. It reminds me of like that Kelly green color, but this is more of the green that I really love. So this is retailed at $49.99 from Goulet Pens. And of course, you know, I told my best friend to order from Goulet Pens in an extra fine because I absolutely love Goulet Pens. I've never had issues with their shipping. The shipping's always fast, and they always send you a little Tootsie Roll and a sticker, which I absolutely love. So I'm just going, and I've already inked this up. So this is just amazing. Like, I absolutely love this. I love the onyx look. I love it. And I think the black look just really sets this pen apart from the other ones because it is just one of a kind. And I know it's not different than the other pens, but the nib writes so good. And the nibs of my other ones write really good. So the nib is smooth, it's consistent with ink flow. I had no issues with skipping or scratching. It writes just as well as the rose gold and the steel nibs. And I've already inked it up. I inked it up with Nahvalur Spirula Green, which I am an affiliate for them. My code is Eliza10. And this is literally the perfect green for this particular pen. So I was just so amazed at how much the ink really matched the pen. So I had already inked it up because I had did a reel for my Instagram, and I literally just had to pen test it because I really had to see if the greens, if the ink really matched. And I mean, it matched really well. I am so pleased with the color. So if you can see that, the color is so pretty. And then so this color is like I said, Nahvalur Spirula Green, and it does have some shading properties to it, and it really has like a tiny bit of chroma shading. It's very subtle. Like, you can't really see it unless you're like really writing with it. Like on the outside of the swatch, you can definitely tell that it's kind of chroma shading. But I absolutely love it. I'm actually going to re-swatch it to show you all how the color. I'm actually going to re-swatch it because I would love for you to see how the color comes out, to let you get your own idea of what the ink flow is like, of how the nib flows. And I absolutely love this Nahvalur color in here. And if anyone is not really familiar with TWSBIs or don't have a TWSBI or they're interested, TWSBIs, I love them because they have a piston filling mechanism. So basically, it doesn't need a converter or a cartridge because it contains its own ink within the barrel. So you just twist it. So the mechanism, you just twist it down, and then you stick the pen in the ink, and then you twist it up, and then it suctions up the ink. So I really love this one. And that's why I have so many TWSBIs, because I'm a true fan of TWSBIs. So ever since my first one, I've been addicted to these. And the thing that I do love is that if the barrel does crack or it breaks, you can reach out to TWSBI and they will ship you a replacement part for shipping. So they basically just charge you shipping for the barrel because they know good and well this barrel is nothing but plastic. It's like, seriously. So I am just going to show you. Well, first, let's do this. I'm going to actually just let you see what, hold on for a second. Let's see. First, I'm going to actually let you see what a big swatch looks like with this Spirula Green, and then I will swatch it with the pen so you can actually see what this color looks like. And it's not, see this, it's just that this is cotton. I was looking for my ink muddler, but I can't find it. It's probably somewhere. So but because you know cotton absorbs liquid, so it looks a little bit lighter here. is closed all the way. So it looks a little bit lighter here, but it does have this darker tone to it when you use it in the fountain pen. So now I'm just going to just swatch it. And then this is pretty much how it looks when you swatch with it. And sorry, y'all, I write so small, but this is pretty much how it looks. I absolutely love it. The color is amazing. And if you love TWSBI, I mean, it's only $49.99. I'm not telling you to go out there and buy it. I don't get any commission for helping you go buy this pen from Goulet Pens, but I absolutely just really love TWSBI's. I love the piston mechanism, and I love it because I don't have to worry about buying a converter. So I absolutely love TWSBI's. But I did mean to, so I absolutely just love TWSBI. So, and then there are other retailers where you can actually get 10% off of this purchase. So there are reps for like Atlas Stationers, and then you have some people that are reps for Pen Boutique, where you can get like 10% off, which would, your purchase would be a little bit cheaper than $50. But I personally like Goulet Pens because I've never had any issues with any of their pens that I purchased from them, so that just keeps me coming back. Okay, so the next one, move this out of the way. The next one is the first of my purchases that I got from Nahvalur. I want Nahvalur, like, I keep, like, in my head, I'm saying it correctly, I think, like, because I'm like, okay, I know this is how you pronounce it. So, Nahvalur. But I'm just going to say it like that. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm from the South. So, this is actually my first Nahvalur pen. And the only reason why I purchased this pen was because I was enabled by Chasing Olives on Instagram. She loves Nahvalur pens. And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to get one too. But what ended up happening was when I saw this one, what enabled me even more was that it was retractable. And who does not like a retractable pen? And I'm going to tell y'all something really funny after I get finished talking about the pen. So I absolutely, and I've already inked this one as well, and I've already taken it out the plastic, but I just absolutely just fell in love with the color online. See, online, it looks a little bit more gold. It looks more like this gold than the actual pen. So the pen looks a little bit more like copper than it actually does gold. So I know they identify this as pure gold, and it's 24 gold plated accents around. So just looking at it, it's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pen. So this is called the Nahvalur Eclipse. It is their first retractable pen. I did get this in a fine because I don't think they had an extra fine. Or at least I don't remember. I don't remember seeing an extra fine. So this is actually a fine nib. And the clip is removable. I have not attempted to remove the clip. And to be honest, I don't think I want to remove the clip at all. I think I'll just let it stay because I feel like if I try to remove the clip myself, I think I would break it or just misalign it. So I actually purchased this pen from a completely different retailer. I've never purchased any pens from this retailer, but they were the only retailer that was actually taking pre-orders for this pen. So I ordered this about a month ago, like the beginning of August. And I know when I ordered it, it was on pre-order. And of course they had like a notification that it would ship 3 weeks after pre-orders were done. So I got this week. Well, today's Sunday, so I got this sometime last week, and I was super, super excited. The name of the retailer I got this from is called Drum Ghouls. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right, but I will link the name of the retailer in the description. So I was saying, so when I received this, I noticed that it did not have instructions. And I was like, oh, where are the instructions? And then I look here, and then you have to scan the QR code for the instructions. And y'all know that I hate reading instructions. And I literally had to read the instructions for this pen because I was so confused for about 5 minutes. Because most of the time you can figure out how to open a pen and feel it. Well, I could not figure out how to open it up on my own until I read the instructions. So when you get ready to open it, you twist this. And I already have this ink, so hopefully the ink doesn't spill out. But if it does, it's fine. So you open this up, and then, this comes off. Which at first I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I really like that. I'm kind of like, I don't really know if I like that, but it's okay. So then, if you've ever seen a Pilot vanishing point, so I'm actually going to show you all a Pilot vanishing point and how it also opens up. Well, I'm gonna show you the similarities in the nib unit. And when I say nib unit, because it's like a cartridge and the nib unit in a hole. So when you pull this out, you just pull it out like this. And this does have a spring. Well, it's not going to come out because it's at the bottom. But it does have a spring in the inside. So this is the, set that up here. So this is the nib unit. And then this is the Pilot vanishing point nib unit. So I'm gonna set this up so that's not distracting. So if you see that there is some similarity to it. So they both have this little knob, and that lets you know where to enter the pen, because this will fit into the groove of the pen. And then it's silver here, so it has some similarities. The only thing about this converter and this converter is that this converter has like these little beads in the inside to keep the ink from, like, I guess to keep the ink from like drying out. That's what I'm trying to say, to keep the ink from drying out. And then there's nothing in this, so nothing. Okay, to keep the ink from drying out. And then this is already filled with ink, but this converter does not have those beads in the inside to keep it from drying out. Maybe it has it in the bottom of this nib unit. So, and then if you look at the nibs, you do see the similarities in just how the nib is made. It's very, very, very thin. So then when you turn it over, it's pretty much made very similar. So it's pretty much like they took a Pilot vanishing point and made it into their own, because it does have this same nib unit. But you can definitely tell that this is a fine and extra fine, because the nibs, this nib is a lot thinner than this one. So you can definitely tell the differences in the width of the nibs. So that is the Pilot vanishing point, and it's very similar. And this also has a spring, so you can hear it. But this one is my baby, because this is my first retractable. Okay, so let me wipe this off. Okay, so, and then when you get ready to put it in, you basically, and it's kind of hard to see, like, because these facets are literally covering the groove where the knob goes. So you have to like pretty much look at it, and the groove is here, and then you're going to stick that back here. And I'm going to tell y'all something that happened to me last night. And then when you stick it in here, you have to make sure the facets are opposite of each other. And I don't think it matters where it goes. So when you put this back on, you have to push it and hold it and then like twist it. And then it pretty much locks. So then, now this is, I love the pen, but I guess now that you are ready to like retract the pen, it's pretty much like you can't just push this down. So I'll give you another example. So you know how, okay, so here, the pilot vanishing point, the knock is here, right? So you can just instantly do this and the pen retracts like that. So then the Nahvalur Eclipse, you can't see this. You can't just hold it and push it out. Like, it doesn't work like that. So I was kind of like, okay, so what am I supposed to hold it and push it down? Like, that is not convenient. And that wouldn't make sense of it being a retractable fountain pen. So basically I learned, like, you basically have to hold, like, well, this is what I do. You basically, because if you hold it here and try to, like, you can hold it here. So, but I like to just put my pinky finger here where the clip is. I like to hold it and then retract it. That's just easier for me. So, okay, now what I was going to tell you about what happened last night was that, so I inked it, and usually when you ink it, you can ink it by, hold on. You can actually, let me get my vanishing point again. So when you ink it, you can literally take this out. This is a piston converter. It's small, and you can stick the ink in and then pull the ink up. So, which is pretty much the same. So I did that last night with Diamond Dusted Truffle. And the whole time that I was trying to write with it, the ink was just leaking. Like, it was just leaking out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really, really weird. What I pretty much figured out is I couldn't really determine if it was because I filled it the way I just showed you. Like, I just took the converter out and then filled it that way, or if it was because maybe the shimmer was clogging the feeder, because Diamond Dusted Truffle has shimmer, but I've never had issues with the shimmer in the Diamond Dusted Truffle clogging any of my feeders to where it would just make the actual solution leak out. So then I was like, oh my gosh, why is it leaking? This is a brand new pen and shouldn't be leaking, you know? So I was panicking, like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to have to send this back. So I rinsed it out, I cleaned it out, and I said I'm going to ink it with another color. But then I told myself this time I'm going to ink it with a syringe. If you don't have one of these are your best friend, because I think that every pen is different, every pen is unique, and you have to treat every pen completely different, or you have to treat different brands differently. So I pretty much used a syringe, and then I filled it with another color. So this is Colorverse Haho Mask, which I absolutely love. I was trying to find something that would totally blend or match with this gold Nahvalur. So I just used a syringe and I inked it like that, because I just didn't know if it was going to keep leaking or not, or if I had too much ink just like sucked onto the feeder that it was just leaking. But anyway, so I use a syringe. So if you don't have one of these, I highly suggest that you get one. You can find these on Amazon, and you can find these at Goulet. I just usually order these from Goulet. 2 comes in a pack for like $7, $8. And you can find these on Amazon as well. So I use a syringe, and then it came out a lot better, and it did not leak any ink at all. So this is pretty much from last night. This is the color. So I noticed that with this particular pen, this Colorverse Hot Hold Mask writes really, really light. So in my other pens, it writes darker, because especially in the TWSBIs, it writes a little bit darker, because TWSBIs are just very universal. Like, these pens really can take any type of ink, whether it's extra fine nib. They really can take really any type of ink. They can tolerate it very, very well. So I just learned last night that maybe the Diamond Dusted Truffle, the Nahvalur just can't tolerate the shimmer. So I definitely will not be using any type of shimmer inks in this Nahvalur. But first, I'll just let you see how this Colorverse Hot Hold Mask looks. I wish I had I have a pipette. You know what? I do have a pipette. I got one from the pen show. It came with all my little, so yes, this is my little bag of ink supplies. Let's see. Okay, here they are. I knew I had some. So it came with my Colorverse inks. It's like little pipettes came with them. So I'll just do it like this. It's all right. So this is pretty much like how the Colorverse looks. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty brown. So usually, like, the little bit that's left, I usually just throw this away. I don't put it back in here, because when you put ink back into a clean bottle, it contaminates the ink. And that's why sometimes people have mold growing in their inks. So I learned that. And because I have a bottle, I'm not too, like, strict on, oh my gosh, I can't waste this little bit of ink. So this is pretty much my blotting rag. So as you can see all this diamond. Oh my gosh, y'all, I was so over it last night. I was so over it, because I just could not get it to stop leaking. This is what it was leaking out. So every time I went to write with it, it just would pour out ink. So now I'm gonna just show you how. So it writes really, really good. Once you have an ink that does not clog it up. So this is the Nahvalur. Eclipse. So it writes really, really light. And this is a fine nib. And then this is Colorverse. Hot Hold Mask. So now this is a bullet journal. This is 160 GSM. So I am going to tell you this. This is my experience and my experience alone, that this fine nib, or just maybe it's because the Colorverse seems a little bit dry in this pen. So, and most times I'm really beginning to learn, like, how dry inks and fountain pens are affected by paper as well. So like on this 160 GSM, because I think the ink is a little bit too dry for this nib, it's not scratchy, but it writes like with a grip. You know how like this TWSBI completely wrote butter smooth all the way across? It's like this pen is like it's like gripping the paper. So that's how I know, okay, this might not be a good pen for this 160 GSM. This pen might need a more soft paper. So what I'm going to do is, like, look at that. Look at that color verse. It's so pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my Habino, since my Habino is like 52 GSM. And I'm going to just write something. It's like, I'm not going to be able to use this. I'm probably going to be able to have to write on this page, because this page is totally messed up. Because I do a lot of ink pen tests on this last one. And then the ink always gets like, it soaks through to like this page. So this page, to be honest, when I get here, I might just cover this page with stickers. So we're gonna like pen test it on this 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. So oh yeah, see, there's a difference. It feels way more smooth on here. It's way smoother. So you have to like know your pens. Get to know your pens. Get to know the nibs. Get to know what type of paper they like. Get to know what type of ink it likes. So also, I don't think that this Colorverse Haho Mask is the ink for this one, because it's very dry. But it's more soft it's more soft on this 52 GSM, but it still is writing like really dry. So I did, like, once I use up everything that's in here, because I hate wasting ink, I'm probably going to change this and maybe go for I don't know, maybe a Sailor ink. Because some Sailor inks can be dry, but most of my Sailor inks are very wet. Or I can go for another Diamine, just not the ones with the shimmer. Probably like a Diamine Urban Sienna, or I don't know, but I'm probably going to try a Diamine ink next, or even like an Andoryllium. So it writes smoother on the Tomoe River paper, but you can tell that the ink is way too dry. Like, it's way too dry. But I absolutely love this. This is the first pen that I purchased by Nahvalur. So I absolutely love it though. So the pros outweigh the cons. It's retractable. I absolutely love it. I love the color. I fancy this. Like, it's so pretty, and it only retails at $99.99, and that's almost at every retailer. But if you go to a retailer who offer rep codes and things like that, or who even have coupons, see, Goulet don't have coupons, and I didn't even see this on their website at all. But I know this was at the Pen Boutique, Drum Ghouls, Endless Pens, Atlas Stationers. This was also on the Nahvalur's website. So I'm glad I was able to actually pre-order this. And I absolutely love it. Con for me is that it takes some time to unscrew this and to ink it up. And then you have to like be very, very careful, because these little facets, I mean, they probably can easily bend. But other than that, I'm very pleased. I really like it. I really like it. So this is a great retractable pen if you're looking for something that's less than the Pilot Vanishing Point, because the Pilot Vanishing Point, well, the one I have retails at $168.99. So if you want something that's a lot cheaper than the Vanishing Point, I would definitely recommend this Nahvalur Eclipse. And these come in 5 different colorways, which I can also link them below as well for you to just see them if you want to see how they look. So they have black, black and silver, black and gold, gold. This is the all gold one, of course. So they have like, it's 4 or 5 different colorways. But I mean, the pen is amazing. So I really like it, and I definitely will compare this to a Pilot Vanishing Point because the nib system is completely the same. It's just the body of it is different. So if you stayed to the end of the video, let me know what you liked about the video. Let me know what you liked about the pens. If you have a Nahvalur Eclipse, let me know what color you have. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye. Hey everyone, so I'm actually coming back to give you all an update. So after a couple hours after recording the video, I noticed that when I was writing with it, it started leaking ink again like it was the previous day. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is a completely different ink, so obviously it must be the pen. So I decided to just wash the ink out and start all over again. So I rinsed it out, cleaned it out really good, and then inked it halfway with the cartridge. And even with it being inked halfway, it was still leaking. So I'm basically just like, okay, obviously this is a faulty pen that might have missed quality analysis. So I ended up contacting Drumgles, and they sent me a replacement, and I sent the old one back. So then when the replacement came after 2 days, I inked that one up, and then number 1, it was leaking ink, and number 2, I could not get the top to screw back on. So there I was again with another faulty Nahvalur. So at this point, I'm like super frustrated. So I literally recorded a video for Drumgle to show them like, hey, I can't even get the top to screw back on because obviously it's stripped. So they said, okay, we will try replacing the pen for a 3rd time. So by that time, I ended up reaching out to Nahvalur to see like if they could actually just send me, like, seriously, for my time, like, can y'all just send me a replacement pen yourself? Because like I told them in the email, and I was very professional, I told them that obviously some of y'all pens missed quality analysis, because there's no way I've gotten another replacement pen and this is the 2nd one that's faulty from the same retailer. So I hadn't heard from them for like 3 days, and then so after about 3 days they emailed me back and agreed to just send me a pen. And hopefully when I get this 3rd one, the pen isn't faulty. So here I just included some clips of the ink and how it basically was blobbing out of the nib, which was it was a mess, y'all, because I mean it was literally dripping ink. So I will actually update you all probably on Instagram, or maybe come back to this video and just write an update after Nahvalur sends me a pen. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Have a great day.